Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. I as always am Grestar and this is another death battle reaction, Cable versus Booster Gold. So of course make sure to click the link in the description below to go to the official release first. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Watch that there, then come back here and we'll watch it together. So Cable from Marvel, I know that much, and Booster Gold from DC, I know that much. Aside from that, I really don't know a lot about these two characters. If you watched my Goro versus Machamp reaction, you'll know that I briefly, I very vaguely know about Booster Gold because I listened to an audiobook that involved him, where at one point in the story he was a fraud. Like, he paid someone to play a villain, you know, and then took them out so that people would think highly of him. And then like his check bounced, and so then the villain, you know, opened up and was like, yeah, no, I'm just an actor, you know, like, Booster got in trouble for that, etc. But like, he was also genuinely capable of like big things. Yeah, like he was, I think his story was that like he was a football player in college or something, and so he's used to being this like macho dude in the spotlight, you know, that everyone loves. And then when you're a superhero like in the same world as Superman, you know, maybe you don't get as much attention, like that kind of thing. So yeah, so it's not to say that like he isn't powerful, but he totally was pretending in some regards just to get a better public image, and it backfired. As for Cable, I think he has to do with time travel as well, doesn't he? Like, they both have to do with time travel, I think, and I assume that's why they're being pitted against each other. But I really don't know what Cable's powers are. Like I said, I've watched Deadpool 2, but his powers seem to be that he wasn't fully like flesh and blood human. Like, I think he came from the future to the past, and I think with Booster Gold it was the other way around, from the past to the future. I don't remember though. Wait, maybe I'm completely wrong too. I think they both have to do with time travel, but I could be wrong on Booster Gold's coming from the past to the future. It might have been, yeah, anyway. Point is that I don't know enough about these characters to make any sort of prediction right now. Even if I were to try to look at the power levels of the two worlds, I think that DC is generally a higher power level than Marvel, but there are obviously instances that could rival each other. So I don't want to rely on that, so I'm not going to make any predictions just yet. We just need to watch this video. So with that, let's get to watching. All right, death battle, Cable versus Booster Gold.
Mankind has always looked to the past with regret for mistakes, and to the future for the chance to correct them. But what if the past and future could be visited at the same time?
That'd be pretty cool.
Say buckle up, but where we're going,
I'd be down for that.
Seat belts. Wait, is that the right quote?
Cable, the time-traveling warrior mutant from Marvel.
And Booster Gold, the greatest DC Comics hero you've never heard
I feel
of.
like he came from the
He
future,
wears an
went back to the
boomstick.
past as well,
And
actually.
it's our job to analyze
He must
the
have.
weapons, armor,
Yeah, no,
and
I'm pretty sure he
skills
did,
to
because
find
yeah,
out
he
who
had
will
his
win.
little
Death
bot who would like predict when something bad was going to happen, so then he'd show
Our
up to save the
convoluted
day.
story begins with the supervillain, Mr. Sinister.
Oh.
With a name like that, you'd just be disappointed if he wasn't a supervillain.
In an attempt to destroy another supervillain, Apocalypse, Sinister planned to create the ultimate mutant.
So he decided to, breed the X-Men Scott Summers and Jean Grey. All right, weirdo.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
You're already in a relationship.
Just one little problem. By the time Sinister was ready, Jean was kind of dead.
Oh.
No problem for Mr. Cine. He just cloned Jean, got the new her in bed with Cyclops, and bam! Out popped Nathan Summers, Marvel's ultimate baby.
Okay,
Of
cool.
course, we're talking about comic books here, so Jean eventually came back to life. After dumping the clone, Scott and Jean decided to raise baby Nate together.
Oh, how nice. They love happy endings.
What about the
Until Nate
clone?
was kidnapped by, ironically, Apocalypse.
Oh.
Apocalypse infected Nate with the techno-organic virus,
Oh.
a liquid metal that converts organic tissue into cold, unfeeling steel.
Oh.
It's basically cyborg herpes. And just
Okay.
like the real thing, there was no cure. Trust me. Until the lady from the future showed up.
Long story
Oh.
short, Scott and Jean allowed Nate to be taken 2,000 years into the future in hopes of a cure. Unfortunately, there wasn't one, because the future world was ruled by, of course, Apocalypse.
Oh.
So now, poor Nate's got an incurable robot virus and is stranded in a post-apocalyptic apocalypse future. What a ripoff.
Well, it's not all bad. As the techno-organic virus took over Nathan's body, it enhanced his strength, speed, and endurance. Most notably, he gained a powerful metal arm and a cybernetic eye that can see in infrared, track objects 2 miles away, and fire lasers.
Okay,
And if
cool.
any part of his robo-self is damaged, he can just put it back together lickety-split.
He's more than just a cyborg, though. His training in the future turned him into an incredible hand-to-hand combatant and tactical genius.
And like any good 90s comic book hero, he often comes to fights packing some totally awesome heat. Machine guns, laser guns, a doohickey that can control dinosaurs? What more would you need?
Okay, cool,
He became
dinosaurs.
a gritty savior of the future, where everyone knew him by one name, Cable.
Unfortunately, despite being in the future, he was running out of time. The
Oh,
virus
no.
would eventually overtake his body and destroy him.
Good thing Cable's not just any mutant, he's an Omega level mutant, which means his power is ultra maximum level.
Thanks to
Oh,
his parentage, Cable possesses incredible telekinetic power. He can move objects with his mind, create force fields, disassemble complex technology, and even manipulate matter down to the atomic level.
really?
He uses this TK power to keep the technovirus at bay. Yeah, he's constantly pushing the virus back 24/7. How does he do that in his sleep?
His telekinetic powers are so strong that he once stopped 247 enormous missiles, contained their explosions, and then funneled them out of the atmosphere.
Badass. He's also a telepath who can read and control minds on a planet-wide level. He can
What?
even shut your brain off if he doesn't like you. Wish I could do that to Wiz.
Wow. Okay.
Good luck with that. He's capable of ionizing the entire planet's atmosphere all by himself, and his psionic powers extend even further. He can physically displace his body through both time and space, allowing him to teleport and time travel.
It
Okay.
was those timey-wimey powers that let Cable visit the 20th century where he met the X-Men, joining their fight for a better future in our past.
And that's how he found alternate versions of himself, like a clone named Strife,
Oh.
a timeline where he was a she named Rachel, and another Nathan Gray who was called X-Man.
Wow,
X-Man.
Really breaking the bank on the name of that guy.
Yeah.
Pretty gutsy to name himself after the entire franchise.
Hey, Wiz, is that Jesus?
Looks like Jesus.
It is. Oh my god.
Holy shit, be careful of what you say in front of mutant Jesus.
X-Man's potential is incredible.
As if there's
A
any other
showcase
kind
the
of
almighty
Jesus.
power Cable could have if not for
There
the
is, it's human.
techno-organic virus.
So Cable said, screw this bullshit and straight up pulled the virus out of himself.
Oh.
What did he even grab onto?
Literally rearranging his DNA to do so, which is impossible. Across the 70 trillion cells in an average human body, there are over 200,000 pairs of DNA. But somehow, over the course of a day, Cable could comprehend and manipulate each and every one.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I said hardcore. Without that dumb virus digging him over, he's lifted a giant metal island into the sky, broke the Silver Surfer's board, and could even move planets.
To move the Earth out of its solar orbit by 10%, Cable would have to generate 470 decillion joules of energy.
It's a lot of
about
joules.
112 septillion tons. of
Septillion
TNT.
tons. Okay.
That's 24 zeros, bitches! He's fast enough to fight the Silver Surfer and was tough enough to survive the Incredible Hulk.
But even with all this power, Cable knew he could never truly save the future. However, he did eventually find hope.
Yeah, like literally, it's a girl named Hope.
After so
Oh.
much time alone, he had finally found a family to protect. Whether it be past, present, or future, Cable will always be fighting for a better tomorrow.
Remember it, Apocalypse. The name's Cable.
He's very strong.
Booster
Okay.
Gold is a hero, an icon, a brand. He's a vigilante protecting the streets of Metropolis, and also the head of his own PR company.
Yes.
He's a wink and a catchphrase. He's fame and fortune incarnate.
But the number one
He was
thing
in a
to
show?
know about Booster Gold, he's 100% full of shit.
Michael John Carter was your average star college football player from the 25th century.
Okay, yeah,
His
yeah.
future in the future was bright until his mother caught a devastating illness they couldn't afford to treat.
Forced into a corner, Michael was caught betting on his own games in order to pay for the treatment.
Should have moved to future Canada.
While his mother did survive, Michael found himself in jail. After
Oh.
his time, he just managed to land a job as a security guard at the Metropolis Space Museum and stumbled upon the exhibit on 20th century superheroes.
Which inspired him to become a superhero too. Kind of. Actually, he stole all the hero tech he could, and turns out it was the real deal, including a goddamn time machine.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, great idea. Let's just leave that shit lying around in the museum that hires
Right.
ex-cons as security.
Yeah.
Alongside his own C-3PO bot, Skeet, Michael took a trip to the past. He used his knowledge of future events to profit off the stock market and form his own company, Grestar Incorporated.
It's pretty clever of him. Clever like a fox? Because Michael J. Fox played the guy from Back to the Future.
Yes.
He went back and Sports Almanac.
This PR firm and merchandising house would eventually introduce him as a self-made superhero celebrity, Goldstar.
Except Ronald Reagan misheard the name as Booster Gold, and it stuck.
How did you
Well,
mishear
now
that?
he sounds like a trading card pack.
Don't get the wrong idea. Michael didn't initially become a superhero for altruistic means. Even Superman, the most positive man alive, believed Booster Gold to be a huge dick.
Yeah.
Who could blame him? Booster didn't care about helping people. He just wanted to make a fortune on problems he already knew would happen. Sports Almanac, remember?
Yeah.
Luckily, he wasn't all talk. His stolen technology was incredibly advanced.
Like his power suit, which, despite making him look like a huge tool, increases his strength, speed, and toughness to superhuman levels.
His main offensive gear includes energy gauntlets, both of which can fire unidirectional blasts known as booster shots.
Ha.
Really leaning into that brand synergy, huh?
Yeah.
And if an enemy is getting a little handsy, he can redirect the gauntlet's energy through his suit, zapping the shit out of anything it touches. Or it can amp up his strength even more. He's just gotta be careful not to run out of fuel.
His goggles include heat vision, infrared, and X-ray, and his Legion flight ring allows him to, you know.
Fly.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, Booster's still an ordinary guy. He's like if Iron Man were a dumb loser. He'd get his ass kicked on a daily basis if he didn't have his nifty force field built.
Potentially his most important tool of all. Booster's force field is an impenetrable wall of continual energy so dense that not even bacteria can pass through.
It can shrug off physical and energy attacks as well as weirder stuff like mind control.
From the
Okay,
likes of
mind
Maxwell
control.
Lord,
All right.
no less. A telepath powerful enough to brainwash the entire planet.
Booster can even remove his force field and wrap it around something else to protect them or to crush them into nothingness.
Oh.
Like my heart after 7th grade prom.
Aw.
Perhaps his suit's most bizarre ability is his mass dispersion field. Instead of blocking attacks, this field absorbs matter and spits it back out. Obviously, if applied to a human being, the results would be...
Me at my 7th grade prom.
And while Booster originally needed a time machine to travel to the past, he has since integrated temporal circuitry into his suit,
Okay.
allowing him to travel the time stream at will or just stop it entirely.
Oh.
He can even hang out with his past and future selves.
Booster managed to fight alongside the Justice League. There he met fellow D-lister Blue Beetle, kicking off the most wholesome bromance ever.
Yay.
To be fair, Booster wasn't just an empty charlatan. Sure, he used his future technology to pretend he had superpowers, but as time went on, his acts of heroism became real and often required sacrifice. Perhaps his friendship with Blue Beetle helped mold him into the selfless hero he later became.
As much of a doofus as he can be, he's also kicked his fair share of ass. He's managed to go toe-to-toe with heavy hitters like Doomsday and Maxima.
He's moved quick enough to dodge beams of light, even flying fast enough to keep up with Flash and
Wow.
tap into the Speed Force. You know, the extra-dimensional energy
Yeah.
field that controls all kinetic energy in the multiverse.
And his force field is no joke. It took hits from gods like Trigon, and even withstood a blast that was breaking down the Earth at the subatomic level.
It doesn't make him invincible. His force field is powered by the same energy source as his gauntlets, so using too much of either will deplete the other.
Okay.
He's also a huge showboat, and will take any opportunity he can to get rich quick. Like the time he and Blue Beetle stole Justice League funds to set up a casino on a tropical island.
Oh,
which
no.
turned out to be alive. True story.
Oh.
Weird.
Okay.
Booster's story is, if anything, the journey to humility. After years of hero work, he was offered membership with the Justice League of America. And yet, he turned it down, knowing the damage such a thing could do to history.
Instead, Booster chose to travel the time stream, repairing its cracks and saving the multiverse. His mom was pretty proud of him.
The important thing is that he chose a life he could not publicize. He'd be saving the world behind the scenes. It may not have been what he originally
yeah,
planned,
tell them Superman
but
saved
Booster
you, that's
Gold
cool.
would ultimately become the greatest hero you've never heard of.
I am
Wow.
Booster Gold, the greatest hero you've never heard of. Until now.
That looks fun.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the
So
data
I'm
through all
a little
possibilities.
torn right now.
But
It's
it's
time for a death battle and pause. Okay. So like Cable was able to do incredible things. But I think Booster's going to win. Mostly because okay, so hear me out. The biggest things that I was worried about were Cable being able to like mind control Booster or just like shut down his mind or to rearrange his body at the molecular level, you know, that kind of thing. But Booster's force field apparently like can prevent all of that if I understood correctly. The only thing that I'm iffy about in terms of that is like the molecular rearrangement. But it seems that it could stop even that. I'm not sure. I do know that he resisted someone's mind control who seemed to be even more powerful in terms of mind control than Cable was. It's like, I think that Cable could mind control anyone around the world, and I think that the other dude mind controlled everyone in the world kind of thing. And I could have been misunderstanding Cable's feat, but that's what it seemed to me. And then there was like, Cable had this ridiculous feat of like some septillion tons worth of TNT or something, right? Just like so many joules of energy. And then Cable with his force, or not Cable, Booster with his force field was able to withstand something that like destroyed the Earth at a subatomic level, right? And so to me, that would mean that Cable, because of his force field, would be able to resist whatever that was Booster, I feel like I keep saying Cable when I mean Booster. Booster Gold with his force field would able to withstand whatever that feat was about Cable. I don't remember if that was Cable dished it out or he survived that. I think he dished it out, right? But yeah, I feel like that was his biggest thing, and Booster would be able to withstand that because of the force field. And then Cable is able to teleport and like go through time, right? But it seemed to me like Booster was able to do that more seamlessly. I mean, he can't teleport, but he can travel through time, so he could basically teleport, right? Like, because he, like, first he needed a time machine, but then he integrated it into his suit. But then beyond that, they said that Booster Gold was capable of keeping up with the Flash and tapping into the Speed Force. That's ridiculous. That's so ridiculous, because the Flash is incredibly insane. Like, conceptually makes no sense kind of thing, you know? That's how insane he gets, where it conceptually doesn't make sense. They had to make up things, like the Speed Force, you know? And so with all of that on Booster's side, even if he himself is just a dude, with the technology that he has, and being as capable as he is, and fighting alongside, you know, the likes of Superman, with like Superman's punch being able to, like, not, or rather, Booster Gold's force field being able to withstand Superman's punch, like, that's insane. That's a lot. And so I feel like as much of a joke as Booster might seem, even though he did become a legitimate superhero, it seems like he actually could withstand Cable's onslaught, as insane as Cable himself seems. And so really, I'm down to two things that make me, you know, iffy about this one. Like, can Booster Gold rather himself do enough to kill Cable? Because I feel like I was missing offensive feats for Booster most of all. And can Cable's suit withstand the amount of energy that it would need to output in order to keep the force field going, etc. Because I know they said that it can run out of juice, but I don't feel like they gave a time as to like how long his suit lasts, and so I just have to assume it would last long enough for one fight, you know? Because I can't imagine this would take too long. And then frankly, oh, something else that I just remembered, actually. Not remembered to say, but just remembered. Booster Gold can stop time, right? So it doesn't matter if you can travel through time. If you can straight up stop time, as long as you have a means to kill someone else, then you could do it. So I think that Booster Gold can kill Cable. Booster Gold is going to win this one, and play.
Huh? Hey, buddy, do you mind? You're hogging my spotlight here.
Yeah.
You look like an idiot.
Rude. Okay.
Oh, I get it. You want to take on the champ to boost your street cred, right? Oh, okay.
Well, if it's a fight you want, it's a fight you'll get.
Cable's like, what?
Paid me to be stained with your blood.
What? Wait, is this guy serious? Thank you! Thank you!
Stop showboating. Take this seriously. Ow. Thank goodness for that force field, man.
Alright, douchebag, you want some of this?
Was that his time stop that he used then?
Let's see how far you fly!
Not very far.
You hit like a girl.
Why does it matter that it's 12-12? Oh.
Did you just punch me into next week? Or a million next weeks? Ah.
This booster's very fast. I thought they specifically showed the time so we would see that like no time is passing as they fight, but nope, apparently not. Dinosaur!
Oh, come on!
I set this up while you were playing Roadkill. Funny how time travel works.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey! I can do that too! In fact, it's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So, here's an army of me's from every second we've fought so far.
I didn't even think about him recruiting more of himself. The thought crossed my mind during his analysis portion, but
Turn those shields off!
yeah, not the prediction.
Oh, no! A voice in my head must remove force field!
Finally, your time just ran out. What?
Oh, wait. Did you think you made me turn my force field off? No, it's too strong for that. I gave it to you.
Aww.
I'll see you in hell, you goddamn golden asshole!
Boost terrific!
I forgot about the crushing aspect. To be honest, I did forget about the crushing aspect.
No, seriously?
I know it seems ridiculous, but
Seriously? How did that golden dingus beat mutant Jesus?
You know, he has a ton
it
going
sounds
for
crazy
him.
at first, but Booster Gold actually had everything he needed to take Cable out.
Cable's powers were way more versatile and deadly than Booster's, and his lifetime of experience in the trenches made him the more well-rounded soldier overall.
That's definitely
But
true, and I
Booster
didn't
had
take that
plenty
into
of deadly
account.
weaponry in his own right, though his saving grace was that force field,
Sure, that
Oh,
thing
absolutely.
survived some crazy stuff.
including every single thing in Cable's arsenal. For example, Cable's telekinesis could move a planet and rearrange cells, right? Well, Booster's force field survived planetary destruction at the subatomic level.
Yes.
Similar to a nuclear bomb, but on a massive scale worth about 14 tenatons of TNT. Over 100,000
Tenatons?
times greater
Oh.
than Cable's power output.
Wow.
That's
I don't know what
40
tenaton or
fucking
yottaton
zeros,
is.
bitches. Holy mutant Jesus! And remember, his gloves use the same energy as the shield, so that means Booster is packing some serious heat.
Even in Cable's fight with the Silver Surfer, while he managed to keep up for a short while, once the Surfer got serious, the fight was over pretty quick.
Meanwhile, Boosty's over here in the same league as speedsters like Flash. And I know what you're thinking. What about Cable's mind control powers? Well, Boosty's shield protected him from
That's right.
Maxwell Lord.
Whose mental powers, like Cable's, could also span an entire planet.
Yeah, Cable looked a lot better.
So I think I
on
did
paper,
misunderstand
but he just
Cable's
didn't
mind
have a
control.
surefire way to put Booster
But
down for good. And Booster had exactly what
either
he
way.
needed to nab a victory.
This is one of the awkward things about comparing heroes from different franchises. Cable may be a gritty badass and Booster may be a silly goofball, but those distinctions mostly matter in their own world.
Absolutely.
In Death Battle, we have to compare them
100%.
directly, and
Yes.
sometimes that means a hero no one's ever heard of wins.
Yeah,
Booster didn't just win, he took home the gold.
that's
the winner
right.
is Booster Gold.
Claps for Booster Gold. No, that really is a thing. Like, you
Hey,
have
thanks
to
for watching
look
this
at their
episode of Death Battle.
universes
Sounds like battle music for yourself
and
by
see,
clicking the
like,
link down
how
below.
they
Hey,
compare,
you wanna watch more
and
stuff?
then focus
Click
on the
right there.
individuals, you know? Next time on Death Battle. Kakashi and Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Kakashi. Oh, that'll be cool. It's gotta be Kakashi, right? Right? I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love Obi-Wan Kenobi. But it's gotta be Kakashi, right? Okay, I said the same thing, though, about All Might versus Might Guy. I said the same thing there. So I'll give it a chance. Like, I'll be patient and I will watch through their respective, analysis portions, and then I'll make my judgment. But right now, I'm thinking it has to be Kakashi. Given how insane Naruto became, like, the anime, by the end of it, and considering that Kakashi was still a lead player, as far as I'm aware, like, if my guy was, Kakashi had to be, right? Then he has to be more powerful. Right? We'll see. We'll see when the time comes. Let's talk about this death battle now. So, yes, we had Cable versus Booster Gold, and I apologize for how many times I have said Cable when I meant Booster, and how many times I probably am going to still do so. It is an accident, and I hope that you've been able to follow so far when I have made that mistake. But yeah, I liked this one. It absolutely makes sense to me. I wasn't sure what Booster Gold was going to be able to do to finish off Cable for sure, just because I didn't know how Cable's durability would match up with Booster's offensive output. I hadn't really thought about, like, again, I just forgot about the fact that he could put the force field on other people and use it to crush them. Slipped my mind. So yeah, it definitely makes sense as a way to be able to kill Cable. And I mean, even if he didn't do that, I still think the Booster would have been able to win. Even if he hadn't summoned his army of himself, I think that he would have been able to win. Because frankly, yeah, just like his force field being as powerful as it is and being able to counter all that, like, Cable was really capable of doing, like the rearrangement at the subatomic level, the super heavy hits, the mind control, things like that. And then you have the speed of Flash and the ability to not only, like, travel through time, but to just flat out stop time. I think the Cable would have been able to do enough I think the Booster Gold, I apologize, would have been able to do enough to Cable to kill him. And so, having the force field to crush him, that's just another way to do it in my mind. Yeah, Cable is a lot more powerful than I had initially thought. Like, not only more powerful, but a lot more versatile too. Because I really only knew him to, be really strong and durable, like, due to his kind of cyborg appearance. Just the largely metal body. And I knew that he had, like, a lot of advanced future weaponry and other technology. I did not know that he had, like, all of the psychokinetic and telepathic stuff. I didn't know that he could move things with his mind. I didn't know that he could read minds. I didn't know that he could control minds or stop minds, I didn't know about that stuff. And I didn't know that he could just travel through time at will. Because, again, my only knowledge of him was through the Deadpool 2 movie, and there it wasn't just him doing it. It was, like, he had a device. He had, like, so many little tokens or what. I forget exactly how it worked, but he wasn't able to do it at will, And then, you have that he can teleport too, which apparently is a thing. I just didn't know about all of that stuff. But even so, I agree with the results that Booster Gold would win, and I appreciated what they did in their conclusion to help clarify things and, bring all of that to better light. And yeah, I thought that the animation was great. There was a lot of personality from both of the characters. I liked being able to go, like, from the present to the future, back to the past, just to show off, like, the extra stuff. I thought that the fighting choreography itself was really well done, and the animation seemed really smooth, and it was just an enjoyable time altogether. So I really liked this death battle. But let me know what you all thought about this death battle in the comments below. You know, whether you liked it, whether you disliked it, what you thought about this or that, etc., so on and so forth. And next time we will be watching Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Kakashi. So I hope that you're looking forward to that. Frankly, I am, because even though I only watched up to I watched all of the original Naruto and up to 50 of Shippuden. And frankly, I've only really seen the movies, like the Star Wars movies. I have not seen any of the other stuff, and I haven't read comics or anything. I'm still looking forward to it. I think that Obi-Wan is a great character. So, with that, we're calling it here. Have a good one, everybody.